of the Rent Network, and it's me, S. Stuart Brisgell, going live from South Florida. And I got David in the purple room in Montreal, Quebec, and he looks very purple behind him. Obviously, last week we had a good chuckle because I lost my video. Today, David's got some speed issues, but we fixed it all for you because we really care. And now I hear a background of myself. So that's okay, guys. It's David and my belief that I believe the Democratic Party has gone almost completely and utterly anarchist. When you have one of the prominent leaders of the Democratic Party, this woman by the name of AOC, we talk about her all the time. She's that New York representative who's as batshit crazy as Nancy Pelosi on steroids, related to Pocahontas. I mean, this girl was chanting, "Get rid of me, get rid of me," in the last time I saw her last week on the news. But now she's applauding the UK for ousting their leader. I mean, David, that is nothing shy of anarchy. I mean, how else do I describe it?
Well, Stuart, and I think that, if you look at what is our title today, the Democracy is falling. They need anarchy to tell people, look, you see what happened, but you've been in charge. You've had all three levels of government in your grasp. Years, two, okay? You could have done all these things, but they're excuses. But you need to create anarchy and problem. You're right, Stuart. And here's what you said. The Prime Minister was there for 6 weeks. Liz Truss, unfortunately, she's been replaced. There's a new Prime Minister. Applause. AOC says, what a great idea. We should get rid of our leaders when we're not happy. Every country in which that occurs is like a banana republic. This is what AOC adores. It's what the Democrats adore. Creating fictional sky is falling issues. God bless the state of Georgia. Stacey Abrams has, conceded that she lost the last election. She said it was stolen from her. Who did that sound like? I think, but the former president got crap. Has a whole hearing going against him. You ask Oprah Winfrey, if she doesn't win, it's the end of the world. Georgia. Why? Because we created a new anarchy. The whole thing about voter suppression. If you type voter Georgia, Google, it's voter suppression. Do you know that there's a record turnout right now for Georgia in the pre-election? But they're suppressing the minority vote. False. A nut hits their head. Remember the Chicken Little thing, right? Where the chicken was going, that the sky is falling? This is the Democratic Party, Stuart, in a quote. They are, all these nuts have fallen on their head. They have all these nuts in the party. Yet it's the Republicans who are blamed for every single problem. Stuart, I'm passing the ball to you, man, but to me...
So let me jump on in. All right. So, and David, unfortunately, your audio is running a little slow, so we apologize to everyone on our technical difficulties, and I'll keep ranting about this. No, not about David's audio, because he didn't say I screwed up last week. But like at the end of the day, the important thing that you have to understand is we're all for free and fair elections. We are all for proper government. It's, the United States election is the single largest share of free election left in the world, where the biggest amount of power is transitioned from one party to the next in a peaceful, amicable process. But what the Democrats seem to be gunning for is to cause this to turn into civil unrest and civil war. I just don't know what the end game is other than creating civil war. I mean, if you continue to polarize rich and poor, black and white, girl and boy, you eventually end up with civil war. And you would think that the leaders of today would want to avoid blood in the street because they're the ones with the private security and private police. We as citizens are the ones that are not. And when citizens aren't being treated as well as non-citizens, there is another breakdown causing further anarchy and issue. For example, if you're from another country, I said last week, you get a bed, a phone, a roof over your head, 3 square meals a day. But if you're on the streets in the United States, you're on the streets. Beware. David, I don't know if you fixed your audio. Did you?
Well, Stuart, I'm gonna just what you just said, and this is the anarchy that they want policies. Think about it. If you have real, tangible solutions and people proven, then you'll run on that. Run on anarchy if you have solutions. Now, I'll give you causing anarchy. The Biden administration mocked for wanting to open up the schools earlier, right? The rest of the country, oh my God, anarchy. Let's cause fear and panic where unnecessary. The interesting thing is they talked about the impact of school closures was that, hey, guess what? Kids were suffering in school, their math results especially. So let me answer the question, Stuart. Which state right now is doing well in math? Or California?
There's no Democratic state doing well in education in the entire country.
But the point of California stayed closed longer. Florida opened up earlier. Florida are less impacted by the COVID. This is what we're talking about here in terms of this mindset of creating fear, of creating uncertainty. The world of tomorrow, like when you keep saying that the GOP is threatening our democracy, is to create havoc. You are not creating solutions. You're not offering because you can't. And this is the problem. Now, I know what's going to happen. Tons of Facebook messages and emails from people saying, yeah, but the GOP. Doc, I get it. I'm not saying that any party is perfect. But you guys, Trump and the Republicans, burnt on the stake. You guys said that the entire problems are only and exclusively the GOP. I'm saying that right now, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Chicken Little. Stuart?
So let me just jump back in. So again, we're talking about like the Stacey Abrams versus the Donald Trump with the press going, bonkers on Trump, but ignoring Stacey Abrams. Back in 2000, Florida again was in the headlines in elections when Al Gore lost with a hanging Chad. Now, do you want to know something? He did initially start to push for it, but in the end, he fizzled out and let it go and said, I'm a loser, and moved on. Now, what I really find astonishing is we forgot about the hanging Chad. A free, fair election with a hanging Chad. Al Gore left and said, you know what? I didn't win. I concede. And you know what? Stacey Abrams, listen, she needs money. That's why she's doing it. That's why they all do it. Nancy Pelosi will disappear once the Democrats lose the House. She will not be the minority leader. She will resign. The scary part is we may end up with someone like crazy AOC, who chants that, we don't like her. And if New York doesn't get a grip really quick, we're going to end up with someone in, the Democratic power who makes Bernie Sanders look like Mary Poppins, AOC. Who's the other one out of Michigan that we love?
Elijah Ilhan Omar.
Okay. Would you like to see the head of the DNC being one of these two clowns? I mean, if the DNC representatives don't clean up their act, we're in big trouble because the free, fair democracy we've all come to learn and love is going to be taken away from us because it's going to be civil war. I mean, real civil war, the modern civil war, which is crazy.
Stuart, you brought up a point about speaker and whatever. And I'll show you her credentials. I'll show you her mindset, right? So Kanye West with Donald Trump. You see, Kanye West is a lunatic. Look, he went off on a ledge. So of course, AOC condemns Kanye West, his remarks, his anti-Semitic. But in 2019, when it was brought to her attention that the Women's March is full head is an anti-Semite, she refused to denounce her. So you see, to me, how can I continue to push the continuous message that the association with the GOP is poison, but anybody associated with the Democrats, they're okay.
Right. Well, it's Obama with Reverend Wright. I mean, the guy was absolutely batshit anti-Semite, yet they can't. You know what else? Recently in one of my kids' chats.
Nations of Islam, right? Louis Farrakhan. They shook his hand. Clinton shook his hand.
Oh, my God. I mean, if Donald Trump shook his hand, it would be World War III. Look, David, we're wrapping close to this quarter hour, but I want to just sort of remind people, like I'm in a chat for one of my kids' schools, and, they're talking about Kanye West or Ye and Adidas and the secret anti-Semitism. Dude, are you fucking crazy? These people don't get it. Go to Columbia. See what anti-Semitism. Go to Berkeley. See what anti-Semitism is. You want to pick on Adidas? Go for it. Look in your own backyard. Look in your own alma mater. Look in your own community. You'll find it on steroids. Kanye West is a nut bug. The guy needs his medication. What?
Helped. And I mean, listen, there are Republicans who stayed very quiet too, and I'm not saying that. But the Democrats, they're a party for the people, and they care about racism, and they want to give respect to the people. Your own party, card-carrying racists, and you've done nothing. You are scared of the squad and their power and their voting willing to do anything about it. Screams volume of this whole criteria, this whole level of respect. Again, stop blaming your opposition. Show us all some intestinal fortitude. You want to sway voters? Show people fortitude. Stop whining that you've lost an election. Stop whining about voter suppression, whining about abortion, that's the number one issue plaguing Americans. Stop whining. Stop promising people that if you're going to vote me in, we'll codify Roe v. Wade. Intestinal fortitude. And then
I just want to give you one more. I want to give you one more, David. There's a petition to ban or to vilify Kanye West. I want to remind everyone that wants to vilify this guy, the man has massive mental health issues. So if you want to villainize him, I want you to villainize every mental health issue. I want you to put every mental health issue in jail, because really that's what you're saying by saying, let's have a petition. The man is clearly on his meds.
But I will tell you, I have a different approach. I'm very sorry. But if you're going to take an anti-Semite and he should be vilified, then you should do it to all of them. Don't pick and choose. Remarks, 2-week suspension from ABC. And others have made remarks that have gotten nothing on the wrist. I call bullshit on this one, Stuart.
All right, David, quarter hour's done. We got to work on some technology issues, but we'll be back with you literally on Wednesday. And let's hope the broadcast came out better than it did in the live stream, David. I'm going to hit end stream, guys. Peace out. Have a nice day. David.